I know you said
Oh, you're on it. Good. Okay, and then you go click there, and you do both things. Okay, so you have to scroll up, and then it'll take you.
Hey, ¿cómo estás?
So I guess next time you just go through your email. I'm learning to.
I'm something I don't do with that.
Yeah, my dad would have. My dad's so then they definitely would have let him go in and start
Well, the problem is like if you declare too early, you can quit again.
yeah. Or you'll have to do your child wanting to save them, save them the trouble of having to go back in. For football, I super have football. Kids will do that. They'll share it, they'll screenshot it. That is not a fun.
Well, there was like a prom one year. I didn't keep a prom last year. And they did it. It was good, right? But then like it started at 6, right? So at 5:55, they let people come in, but it wouldn't declare until 6.
Oh wow.
And it,
Yeah.
So it was like.
I guess they learned that time stack earlier to the Monday. Yeah, that's a headache. I don't know. Yeah, so you're chaperone. I'm chaperone. I will show it to you.
I do it.
2 of Little Women. Thank you everyone for coming to today's show. Let's give our actors backstage a round of applause before they start the show. Yesterday's show was a success. I'm eager today to see our second performance. And as they say, it gets better and better every day, and there's something unique, something different with each show. Some things that I want to go over with you today is if you did not pick up a lovely playbill, it is here for you just so that you can kind of follow through with this somewhat complicated play. There's a lot of jumping and tying, and so it helps to establish where we're at. This is an original. It's written by a well-known writer, Little Women, and so this is the adaptation of it. It can't cover everything from the book, and so Davison included some of the scenes here that you're going to see today, but there's a lot of jumping of time. So it's important to follow along either through the playbill or listening to the audio. Other than that, it's a wonderful show. What you're going to see in a moment as the curtains open up, you're going to see a set that's been built by our students. Furniture pieces have been rented by Christian Youth Theater. Our costumes as well, they're historical period clothing. But our props have been made by students, our set has been made by students, and our actors have done a great deal of hard work to memorize their lines and block during class. But we have a fantastic show ready for you. Let me just go over a couple of other things. We have some people in the audience today, so actors you can hear. We have Mr. Atwood today. Give him a round of applause. And Mrs. DeVore, everyone also support students, and obviously family members, whether it's your first time seeing the show or second. We appreciate you coming and supporting our drama department. It means the world to them as soon as the curtains open up and they see your lovely faces here. House rules. You're welcome to take pictures, just with no flash. No need to record it. Today we have our BVTV, which they're back there. They're live streaming today's show, and then it will be made available for any family members that maybe couldn't come out today. It will be on their YouTube channel. I would believe it's BVTV. Easy way to find them is exactly as that, Bonita Vista High School. They have their YouTube, BVTV. But other than that, restrooms are located out here in the 300s for girls and then the 500s for the boys. We will have an intermission, probably about a good 45 minutes into the show, in which you're welcome to obviously, eat some more sugary food to stay alive on this Thursday night. But yeah, it's a fantastic show. I hope you enjoy.
And nothing in the world outside seemed right.
Please put your sketch pad down for a moment, Amy, and help me finish trimming the tree. Why isn't Beth helping with the garland? Because Beth did most of the decorating before we came home.
I'll be glad to help. Just think how pleased Marmy will be when she sees it.
I finished it at last, and not a moment too soon if you ask me.
Joe, where have you been all this time?
Need you ask? Just look at what she's wearing.
Say what you like about my writing hat, but I've just written the closing scene for The Witch's Curse. That was a divine inspiration.
Well, we finished trimming the tree without you.
Christmas won't be the same without presents.
It's dreadful to be poor. I can remember when we used to be rich.
I remember too.
It's not fair that some girls have plenty of lovely things, while other girls, prettier girls, have nothing at all.
We're better off than so many others, though. Orphans, for instance. We still have Father and Mommy and each other.
But we don't have Father, and we probably won't for quite some time. Who can say how long the war will last?
Many families in the North and the South will be missing their men this year.
The army is having a dreadful winter. Supplies are scarce. Mommy's right when she says we shouldn't buy each other presents. We have to make some sacrifices, too.
I don't mind those sacrifices, but I'm tired of remaking these dresses year after year. None of you suffer the way I do. You don't have to go to school with impertinent girls who label your father just because he's poor.
If you mean libel, say so. And stop talking about labels as if Papa was a pickle jar.
I know what I mean, and you need to be satirical about it. It's proper to use good words and improve your vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Christopher Columbus, aren't we proper?
Don't, Joe. It's so boyish.
That's why I do it.
I hate rude, unladylike girls.
I hate effective little chits.
Birds in their little nests agreed.
Really now you're both like Amy, your prim ways are funny now, but you'll grow up to be an effective little goose. And as for you, Joe, it's time you stop with your romping ways. It's time you pin up your hair and remember that you are a young lady.
I'm 8, and at turning up my hair makes me one. I'll wear 2 tails till I'm 20. I don't want to grow up and be Miss March. I won't wear long gowns and be prim as a porcelain doll. I can't get over my disappointment in not being a boy. Look at me, dying to go out and fight in the war with Father, and all I can do is sit at home and knit like some pokey old woman.
Poor Joe.
Oh, I don't want your pity, because one day I'll be a famous writer and make a fortune writing books. Then I'll live and behave as I please, and Amy, you'll have dozens of dresses with satin and lace, and Meg will have plenty of handsome beaux to dance with, and a beautiful new piano for my Betsy.
I should like that.
So no more fighting, and let's get to work on our play. Beth, play something gruesome for us. Amy, I wrote a new scene for you. It's wonderful.
Oh no.
It's quite simple. All you have to do is shout, Rodrigo, Rodrigo, save me, and then faint.
Rodrigo, Rodrigo, save me. Oh, I can't do that. I don't want to make myself all black and blue, throwing myself about the way you do. Besides, I've already designed my costume and tumbling about with crushed my gold paper jewelry and crown.
You don't have any jewelry, and you certainly don't have a crown.
And why not? I am a princess, am I not?
But you don't know it. You think you're a serving girl for Beth, Hagler the Witch.
A princess always knows she's a princess.
Well, you don't. Now, you're locked in the tower when suddenly I, Hugo the villain, enter, and you cry out to Rodrigo.
I thought Meg was Don Pedro, my father.
She is, but you don't know it. You don't know who you are until the end of Act 5.
Oh. Does Meg know?
Of course.
Then I want to know too. Why do I always have to be the ignorant one? Because if you know who you are, then the play is over. Well, it's too long anyway. Really, Amy, just do the scene. And besides, it's rude to correct the author.
Yes, and Joe's a regular Shakespeare.
It's nothing really. All right, places everybody. Are you ready? I'm Hugo. Here I come with wicked attentions. Aha! I move closer. Aha!
Come and get your tea, girls. Why can't we have coffee anymore, Hannah? Because it's scarce and dear.
Ships are needed in times of war. They got no time to go off to Brazil and bring back coffee for Miss Amy March.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. And some folks even know how to mind their own business.
Who is it, Hannah?
That Lawrence boy,
What Lord's boy?
Mr. Lawrence's grandson, he come to live with him.
Huh, I didn't know the old fusspot had a grandson.
He just arrived last week, and from what I heard, he sounds like a fine one.
Why? What's he done?
Well, besides run away from school,
That's the bravest thing I've ever heard.
he was found in an army registration office. He had lied about his age and tried to join up. Can you imagine?
I certainly can. I should like to do the same thing.
Fine, so you're human.
Joe, don't!
Oh, Joe!
It's our better. I can look out as much as I.
You're as bad as he is.
Oh, look, there he is.
Amy, Beth, stay back from the window.
I wonder how he gets. No. I'm glad he's a boy. I should like to get to know a boy and have some fun for a change.
Don't say such things.
I wonder how you get to know him. I know. Our cat could get lost, and he could bring it back.
That doesn't sound very romantic.
Who said anything about romance? Hello? Yoo-hoo! Over here. Hello? Hello?
Joe, you're disgracing
Hello?
us!
Hello? Oh, that wretched boy.
He went back. Perhaps now you'll drop draw the curtains and we can get back to rehearsing the play?
I suppose.
Where were we?
Rodrigo, save me, save me.
Oh, yes. Well, perhaps if you try it, like, or maybe, it's just no use. Do the best you can when the time comes. If the audience moves, don't blame me.
I'm glad to find you so merry, my girls.
Sorry. Oh, Marmee, how we've missed you.
Has anyone called back? Come and kiss me, baby. Not today, Marmee. Here, put these on. They're nice and warm. Thank you, dear. Joe, you look tired to death.
Oh, I'm all right.
Have you seen that march about the position yet?
Not yet, Marmee. I was working with the ladies on the maid auxiliary today.
We're so short on blankets we had to start cutting up carpet to send to the men.
I wouldn't mind sleeping under a carpet if I could join up.
Oh, Joe. How's your cold, Meg?
Practically gone now, Marmee.
Did you see Mrs. King today?
Yes, I did. I start on Monday. $4 whole a week. Oh, the house is so lovely and the children seem so sweet. It won't be like work at all.
I'm so proud of you.
I'll rub your feet for you, Marmee.
Thank you, baby. Joe, would you be a dear and fetch my muff? I have a surprise for you.
A surprise for Joe?
Well, a surprise for all of you, really.
From Father?
Sent you all a little Christmas message. Now, who could that be?
From the sound of the pounding, I'd say Aunt March.
Yes, there's his sleigh. I like to have a sleigh, and then I wouldn't have to walk everywhere.
Good evening, Aunt March. Good evening. Not at all, miss, not at all. It's freezing cold, the dead of winter, and you haven't shoveled the proper path to the front door. I might have slipped and broken who knows what. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Aunt March.
So nice of you to visit us tonight.
Yes, come in by the fireplace.
Thank you. No. I have a fire at home where I should be at this very minute. I just stopped by to bring you these. Meg,
Thank you, Aunt March.
Joe,
Thank you, Aunt March.
Amy,
Thank you, Aunt March.
Beth. Goodness gracious, where's that child?
Here I am, Aunt March.
Oh my, for pity's sake, stop sulking around like that. I hate people sneaking about. Come out into the open is what I always say.
Thank you, Aunt March.
Far be it for me to complain, but when I was a girl, I used to make it a special point to visit my aunt's home to wish them a Merry Christmas, not the other way around. I didn't force them to leave the comfort of their sitting rooms to travel halfway around town just to come and visit them. See that you spend it wisely.
The girls and I have been planning to visit you tomorrow, Auntie.
Tomorrow? Well, we don't know if there'll be a tomorrow now, do we? Have you heard that foolish father of yours waltzing off to war and leaving others to take care of his family? Doesn't he realize Lincoln needs soldiers to win this war? Not worn out old preachers like himself.
We're very proud of Father, and you should
Joe.
be too. And besides, we don't need anybody to take care of us.
My, aren't we heighty-tighty?
Some tea, Aunt March?
No. If your father would have listened to me in the first place, you'd all be far better off. I begged him not to invest his money with that swindler. Took one look at him and knew he swept the pennies off a dead man's eyes. But no, your father believes there's good in every shiftless ne'er-do-well.
Well, there's no point in dwelling on the past, Auntie. And besides,
Besides, it was our money that got lost, and it hasn't got anything to do with you.
Don't be impertinent with me. It's a waste of time talking to you, Miss Josephine March. You're as pig-headed as your father, and you have much common sense as a dizzy cow. There's no use talking to the lot of you. Nobody listens to my good advice. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Aunt March.
Merry Christmas, Aunt
Aunt March, wait.
How do you plan to try my patience now, Miss Impertinence?
It's just, I'd like to apologize for my outburst, and I'm willing to bury the hatchet if you are. So, what do you say?
Amy, what are you doing? I want to hear what she's saying to Aunt March. Amy!
So, Aunt March, If the position is still open, I'd like to be your personal companion.
You certainly are a trial, aren't you? But I suppose the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. You may come by my house after the holidays if it suits you.
Think you want March. You won't be sorry.
Merry Christmas, Miss Josephine.
Well, it's all settled.
What is?
I'm Aunt March's new paid companion.
Oh?
I'll read her books, keep her company, and make pleasant conversation.
Pleasant conversation? When do you begin, my dear?
After the holidays.
May we open our envelopes now, Marty?
Yes, Amy.
Oh,
$1! How plummy! I can buy a new book. Maybe The Black Avenger.
how I love a new bonnet with ribbons and lace and a long feather. I can buy a set of favorite drawing pencils and a new sketch pad.
And what will you buy, Becky?
I should like to buy some new sheet music.
May we run to the shop now, Marty? Before it closes?
All right, girls. But what about Father's?
Yes, our letter.
First, our letter from Father.
To my loving wife, give my girls a kiss and tell them I think of them by the day. Pray for them at night and find my best comfort in their affections at all times. I know they will remember all I've said, that they will be loving children to you and work diligently so that these hard times need not be wasted. I know they will fight their bosom enemies bravely and conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them, I may be fonder and prouder than ever of my little women. Oh, yes, Hannah?
Sorry to disturb you, ma'am, but a message from Miss Hummel wonders if you could come right away.
Yes, of course, Hannah. Amy, will you get my boots to Joe my wrap? Good night, girls.
Good night, Marty.
Don't wait up for me. I may be late. Good night.
Good night.
Marmy ought to have a new pair of slippers. I can make do with the music I have.
No, I'm the man of the house while Papa is gone. I'll provide the slippers.
Beth said it first.
Then I'll buy her a new pair of shoes.
A nice new pair of pink gloves, maybe, kid. I'll buy her a bottle of cologne. A small bottle. That won't cost too much and I'll still be able to buy my pencils.
But, Joe, won't the store be closed by now?
Then we'll storm the Citadel. They'll have to open up for us. Come on.
Up in the house,
Stop
reindeer paws. Out jumps good old Santa Claus. Down through the chimney with lots of toys. All for the little ones' Christmas joys.
Christmas was a time for presents once more. Presents for our mommy. Christmas Eve was a flurry of excitement, and we could hardly rest until Christmas morn when we would share our special gifts.
Christopher Columbus!
Kidney pie! And popovers! And fresh coffee!
And everything!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Hannah!
The table looks beautiful, Hannah. Heavens, don't know what the fuss is about. I remember back when it fixed you folks a breakfast like this every morning.
We must have been enormously rich. How was I dressed with all that money?
And diapers.
Isn't Marmy up yet?
Oh yes, up and out.
On Christmas morning? Where is she?
At the Hummels. Poor Miss Hummel delivered her baby early this morning.
The Hummels have another baby?
One baby after another. 6 children, half frozen, huddled together in one bed and no fire. So your mother took her breakfast over there. Now I believe in charity as much as the next person, but we don't have that much to spare.
Didn't she see her presents?
Oh, she did, and grateful she was. Now, she said to finish your breakfast and go straight to church. She'll meet you there.
What's wrong, Becky?
I don't feel hungry anymore.
Beth, people are starving everywhere, every day. If If you let that worry you, you'll never eat again. I try not to think about it.
But we don't know those people. But we do know the Hummels. We passed by their house on the way to church.
What are you saying? Joe, you're not going to give our breakfast to the Hummels, are you? You wouldn't do anything like that, would you?
I could. So could I.
Well, it's all or none. I don't suppose none of us is an option. All right, but I insist on a secret vote.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. Oh, fine. Aye.
Good. It's settled then. Let's bundle up.
What's going on?
Grab your wrap, Hannah. We're off to church and there's one stop along the way.
That's safe. Is my whole breakfast going off to the Hummels?
The whole breakfast, Hannah.
Well, I guess I can spare a quart of wood.
Oh, Hannah, you're an angel.
Here, I'll carry the popovers. You can take the milk.
No, I'm fine. I can manage her.
I'm sure you can. That's why you're taking the milk. We want to have something left over for the Hummels.
Excuse me, miss. I believe you dropped this.
Oh, why, thank you.
Come along now, Josephine.
Say, you're that Lawrence boy who lives next door, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Theodore Lawrence. And this is my tutor, John Brooke.
Well, how do you do?
How do you do?
And how do you do?
How do you do?
I'm Joe March. That's Meg, and the other three up the road are Amy, Beth, and Hannah. Merry Christmas to you both.
And Merry Christmas to you.
You know, we've heard all about you, how you ran away from school and tried to join up. I think it's just plummy.
Well, we better get going now, Josephine.
You know, I've seen you watching us from your window, and I just...
Well, I didn't mean to be rude, but it's just so dull at grandfather's. Dull as a tune, to be frank. And your old home always seems so lively and fun. Like a picture, when you gather around your mother, and
Where's your mother?
she died in Europe shortly after my father.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I give you leave to watch us anytime you like, and come over and join the picture if you feel like it.
I couldn't. Grandfather would say I was imposing.
Bilgewater, Theodore Lawrence, you are officially invited to call upon the March home whenever you please.
Thank you. I will.
Josephine, please.
Honestly, Meg, let's go. Well, goodbye.
For now.
For now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss March.
What will they think of us now, stopping in the middle of the street to talk like that without being properly introduced?
Oh, I don't care, and I'll bet they don't care either. Besides, you certainly weren't very polite. You're getting as prissy as Amy. It wouldn't hurt you to say hello.
Not after the way that man stared at me.
What man? You mean Mr. Brooke? I hadn't noticed.
Well, I had. Oh my!
What is it?
He's still looking!
Who?
Mr. Brooke! Well, don't look now!
Me?
Go, Joe! Go, go, go!
So ended the first brief encounter with one who would become one of the truest friends our little family would ever know. But as winter began to melt away into spring, I wondered if my invitation to call on us would ever be taken up by young Mr. Lawrence.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Theodore Lawrence calling on Miss Josephine March.
Joe, you got company.
Right this way, Mr. Lawrence.
Hello, Theodore.
Please, call me Lori. Everybody else does.
All right, Lori then.
I'll be expecting a cup of tea for you guys.
Yes, Hannah, that would be lovely.
Just as I thought.
Now, do tell me all about yourself before you arrived here in Concord, Mr. Lori.
Well, I used to live in Europe before I went to
Europe? How exciting. I'm going there too, you know.
Really? When?
Oh, well, I don't know really, but my Aunt March, what a crotchety old thing she is, has rheumatism, and did I tell you that I worked as her companion? Anyway, the doctor said the baths in Europe might do her some good, so did you ever go to the baths? I mean, for rheumatism?
I don't have rheumatism.
Of course not. Neither have I, but I figured the baths couldn't do you any harm. What do you think?
Here
Well-
we are.
Thank you, Hannah.
This one with taco and stock of corn is given happy cats.
I don't mind. I like talking.
For your sake, I hope you do. Coffee, need anything?
Thank you, Hannah. Anyway, I really want to go to Europe for my writing. Travel is so important for a writer. What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, well, how are you getting along with your grandfather?
Oh, fine, I suppose. It's just that...
I know. You should have seen him before you got here.
Really? Isn't he a holy terror?
You ought to meet my Aunt March. Croissant?
Yes, please. It almost looks too good to eat.
Meg made it.
Is she the oldest? Brooke and I were wondering.
Why should he wonder about her?
Well, he's quite taken by her. Surely you've noticed. Does he like anyone in particular? Does she like anyone in particular?
So he sent you to find out for him. Well, you can tell him we don't like anyone in this house. I mean, we like many different people in this house, but we don't like young men. I mean, we do like young men, but we don't like young men who wonder about who we like. Meg is just too young and too smart to wonder about who wonders about her.
Perhaps I'd better go.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be out of sorts. I'm so clumsy of me. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Do you really want to go?
No, not really. It's just so dull at grandfather's, and your home's always so lively.
Well, I'm glad you like it here.
I was actually wondering if I could be one of your plays sometime.
I'll say I'd love to have someone else play the villain. I hate wearing that mustache. It makes me sneeze.
I can fence too.
Really?
Really? Here. On guard.
On guard. A hit, what say you?
That's not ready to confess.
Wait, Your Honor, there's someone at the door. Miss March! Miss March!
It's father.
Oh, Marnie, no.
He's been wounded. He's at the hospital in Washington. I must go at once.
I can ask grandfather to explain to the carriage to the train station.
We'll need fare for train and expenses, but we don't have enough in our savings to pay for those things.
I'll go and ask Aunt March.
Quickly, girls, let's help your mother pack.
There now. I think that's everything. Don't forget this.
What on earth could be keeping Joe?
The carriage is waiting outside, and grandfather sent along a bottle of port from some lunch.
Thank you, Lori, and give my kindest regards to your grandfather. Beth, place this carefully in my traveling satchel.
Careful as much as I do.
Where's Joe?
Where is she? Where is she? Where's that foul-tempered daughter of yours?
I thought she was with you, Aunt March.
Not very likely. Not after her visit. Here, take this. Lord knows you'll need more than what you asked for. One can only guess what you'll find once you get there.
Thank you so much, Auntie.
Oh, pish, posh, and twaddle. You're too sentimental, you are. Now, you know how to get there? You switch trains to New York. Horrid, horrid city. And then you have to...
I don't believe that will be necessary, ma'am. Mr. Lawrence has already asked me to accompany Mrs. Marsh to see that she arrives in Washington safely.
That's terribly kind, Mr. Brooke, but really, there's no need.
It would be my great pleasure to be of service to your family. Besides, Mr. Lawrence has already asked me to do some work while I'm there, so you'll see.
You're all terribly kind. Thank you all so much.
Then, with your permission, I'll take the luggages away by the carriage.
Thank you, Mr. Brooke.
I want to apologize for being less than neighborly in the past. You've been very kind, Mr. Brooke. You don't know what a relief it is to know that Marmee has someone to look after her.
Thank you, Miss Margaret. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What on earth could be keeping that child?
I need to finish your tea while you're waiting, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Hannah. Becky, see that you don't forget the Hummels while I'm away.
No, I won't, Mommy. I promise. Well, someone might remember me too once in a while for a change. Well, I hope everything works out for the best, but I doubt it.
Goodbye, Aunt March.
Aunt March!
Yes, miss, here I am, and no thanks to you. I get up, get dressed, and ride all the way over here all by myself because you're so stubborn. Well, you certainly do not get that from my side of the family. Good day, Miss Josephine March.
Joe, where have you been all this time?
Marge was worried sick. We all were.
Yes. What could have kept you this long?
Oh, I went to Aunt March, and she croaked like she always does when someone asks her to open her purse, and, well, I just couldn't stand it. There he is, her own nephew, sick in the hospital, and all she can do is complain about money. So, well, I lost my temper, and here's my contribution.
$25? Where on earth did you get it, Joe?
I came by it honestly. I only sold what belonged to me.
Joe, you're here!
Goodness gracious, it doesn't affect the state of the union. I simply happened by the wig maker shop and saw some tails of hair in the window with the price tags on them, and, well, I thought it might do me some good to have my mop cut off too. So I did.
Thank you, Joe.
Mrs. March, we'll have to hurry if Christopher comes. You look like a porcupine.
I don't mind.
It will grow back and be just as beautiful as before, but you'll never be more beautiful to me than you are right now.
I like it.
It will be easy to keep up. And it's strangely becoming.
Mrs. March, we have to hurry.
You can't miss your train.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Can't we go with you?
No, it's best if you stay here and carry on as usual. Remember to comfort one another. Meg, you'll watch over your sisters? Try and be more patient, Joe. And Bethany, dear, don't forget the Hummels.
I won't, Marmee. I promise.
Amy, be obedient. Goodbye, my darlings. I'll keep this picture of you in my mind. May God bless and keep us all.
Oh, my poor Joe.
You're crying.
No, I'm not. I'm fine.
Don't worry, dear. Marmee has Mr. Brooke, and Father's a strong man, I'm sure.
I'm not crying because of that.
Well, what is it then?
My hair!
Father's convalescence in that Washington hospital lasted many months, and life in our little home soon found a simple domestic pattern in Marmie's absence. Our friendship with Flory continued to grow, and the surprising support and neighborly friendship of his grandfather was a boon to all our spirits. I had worked furiously at my scribblings during that summer, and had begun sending off some of my manuscripts to publishers. Then, an important letter arrived for me that fall.
Now I find out we've been up to all your scribbling lately.
Return it now, Mr. Lawrence, and never speak to me again.
Oh, all right. Just like a girl. First say we're not going to have any secrets, and now this.
Well, this is different.
It's still a secret.
No.
Well, fine, you can keep it. I've got one too.
Bilgewater.
And it's funny.
Very.
Very.
Fine. That's the game you want to play. You tell me yours, and I'll tell you mine. Fine, read it yourself.
Pay to the order of Josephine March. $1 for a story entitled The Phantom Hand.
Well, what do you think of that?
$1?
Go on, laugh, but that's just the start. Someday I'll get as high as 10.
I'll never understand you. Cooped up in that attic all day, writing away, wasting all the time pretending having fun. And for what? A measly $1, Joe? It's the money you want. I've got plenty.
It's not the money. Not really. It's a feeling I get. A strange, nervous feeling on the inside. It's my story, and soon it will be in print. People will read it. Something that I wrote.
I don't understand it, but if it makes you happy, I suppose.
Playfair Teddy, what's your secret?
I know where Meg's missing glove is.
Is that all?
Ask me where it is.
Well, where is it?
Brooke has it.
How do you know?
Saw it.
Where?
He found it the night they danced together at grandfather's party. Isn't that romantic?
No, it's rubbish.
I thought you'd be pleased.
Pleased? At the thought of having someone take Meg away? Oh, why do things always have to change just when they seem perfect? Meg used to share everything with me. Now she thinks that John is a lovely name and brown eyes are beautiful. Well, I think it's sickly, sentimental, romantic rubbish, and he'd better not try to break our family up.
You'll feel different once someone comes to take you away.
Oh, I'd like to see someone try it. I'll die a spinster, rowing my own canoe before I let any man catch me.
I'll catch you, Josephine March.
Never!
Good afternoon, Miss Josephine. Good afternoon, Master Theodore.
Thank you for your assistance this afternoon, John.
My pleasure.
Goodbye, Mr. Brooke.
Yes, well, goodbye, John.
Goodbye, Meg.
I have never been so embarrassed in all of my days. When are you going to stop acting like a child?
Not until I'm old and stiff and need a crutch. Stop trying to make me grow up before my time, Meg. It's hard enough having you change all of a sudden. Let me be a little girl as long as I can.
I haven't changed a bit. By the time you stop with your romping ways, just look at you. No hairpins, no combs, running around in the street like a loose horse.
I wish I were a horse.
Oh, you are such a child.
Well, I suppose I better go. Joe, why are you mad at me?
Hannah? Hannah, where's Hannah?
Bethy, what's wrong?
No, don't come near me. I feel so tired. Just please get Hannah.
Hannah! Hannah, come quick!
Here, Bethy, why don't you come and lie down on the...
What happened, Joe?
Don't come near me, Meg.
What is it?
Oh, Joe, the baby is dead. The little humble baby died in my lap.
Oh, my poor Bethy.
She seemed asleep, and she suddenly trembled and gave cry, and then lay very, very still. I tried to warm her feet, but she lay so still, I knew she was dead.
It's not...
The doctor came. He said it was scarlet fever.
Oh, Beth. Come and lay down.
No, Amy! Don't come near me! You've never had it before. I feel so strange, so tired.
Joe, help me get her to her room.
I'm all right. I'll be fine.
Of course, Bethy, of course you will.
Meg, we're gonna go get Dr. Banks.
Yes, Hannah, right away.
And you, miss, to stay clear of things down here. We'll send you to your Aunt March for a spell for your own good.
I won't go. I won't. I would rather get scarlet fever and die than stay with Aunt March.
For heaven's sake, Amy, be quiet for once in your life.
You should be off as soon as you can, miss. Scarlet fever's no joke.
But it's dull at Aunt March's, and she's cross. And I don't want to be sent off as going in the way.
It's to keep you well. I'll tell you what, I have a plan. I'll check in every day to tell you how Beth is doing.
Will you take me out driving?
Every single day. On my own.
And bring me back the minute Beth is well?
The identical minute. See if I don't.
Well, all right then.
That's a good one.
dragged out slowly into weeks, Megan, Hannah, and I kept a constant vigil near Beth's bedside. We sensed the slightest change in her person. Amy's notes arrived daily, but nothing could relieve our anxiety and sorrow as we began to sense just how fragile Beth's hold on life had become.
Don't get up, Hannah. I just came to see how she's doing.
The doctor had expected a fever to break by now. I'm afraid we have to send for Miss March as soon as Meg returns.
Oh, Hannah.
You children begged me to telegram her weeks ago, but I was afraid to fretting for her just yet. The doctor says the end might be getting close now, and Miss Beth seems getting weaker every moment.
Hannah?
Yes, sis?
Jill.
She doesn't even recognize us. How I wish Marmy were here. She'd know what to do.
It's all right, Joe. I'll be strong for you.
If only I'd sent that telegram.
Marmy will be here soon, Joe.
No, she won't. How could she be? There isn't time.
Well, I got fidgety, and so did grandfather. So we sent Brooke to go fetch her. She'll be back tonight on 5 o'clock train.
Marmy? Here. In just a few hours?
Yes, Joe.
Oh, Lori! Oh, dear, dear Lori. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fly at you like that. It's just, I don't know any other way to say thank you.
Fly at me again. I really liked it.
No, thank you. I'll do it by proxy when your grandfather comes. Lori, if life is as hard as this, I don't think I'll ever get through it.
You'll see, Joe. Things will just be like how they used to be around here. All fun and games.
I truly hope so, Lori.
Well, I'm off the station now, and I shan't spare the horses.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Please, Lord, if you must take Becky, please wait until Marmy gets home. But please, Lord, please don't take her because she's such... Well, please don't.
Yes, exactly as you said, Dr. Banks. The fever's broken. Oh, thank heaven. He says she shouldn't pull through now.
Oh, Hannah, I don't think I'll complain about another thing for as long as I live.
We're to give her milk for strength, of course, and as soon as she's able, and she'll be rode to recovery and a slap in the bang list.
Oh, Hannah, you truly are an angel. But what about Amy?
Sent for her as soon as the doctor said, is Beth resting?
Yes, I'll have her old linen stripped and fresh ones on in just a few minutes.
And with plenty of warm milk for her.
Yes.
Becky? Marmy! She's gonna be okay now.
Marmy, you're home. Oh, Marmy. I thought you look so beautiful.
I came straight away like your note said. Hey, Marmy!
She's going to recover. Our Becky is going to recover.
Oh, Beth, you have no idea how I worried about you. I thought about you night and day. I even wrote a will.
Oh, Will?
Yes, just in case I got sick too. Of course, since I didn't die, no one gets anything.
Is there someone at the door, Hannah?
I haven't heard anything yet. Oh, what's this?
Pardon me. Is this the March home?
It is indeed.
Well, then I have a very special surprise for you all.
Father!
Hannah, Meg, Amy, Joe, and my dear, dear Becky.
Taking some good money or something. I gotta tell you, I gotta get we have to set those up too.
he seemed more fragile than before, and all but father acknowledged this. The bonds of friendship with our neighbors, the Lawrences, grew ever stronger, until Laurie seemed almost one of the family. One member of the Lawrence household seemed truly bent on joining our little family. More disturbing still was the fact that Meg seemed all too willing to oblige his little whim.
What are you doing?
Writing.
Well, I can see that. I mean, what are you working on?
I'm not sure, but it looks like it may very well become a tragedy depending on what the heroine decides.
Well, do keep me posted.
I'll do my best.
So, do you intend on using this room much longer?
Why? Are you expecting someone?
I? Of course not.
You are. You're expecting that man, aren't you?
Well, I don't know what you're referring to, but if you happen to be referring to Mr. Brooke...
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. You think you're in love with him, don't you?
Well, I hadn't
Well,
exactly...
I can tell you right now, you're not.
I'm not.
Of course not. I'm a writer, and I write about girls who are in love all the time. And I can tell you right now, you have none of the signs. You sleep fine, you eat well, and you're never depressed. Clearly, you're not in love. So it's really good to go off and do anything foolish like marrying that man.
I don't intend on marrying any man.
You don't? Well, cheers for you, Meg March.
Well, now at least.
What are you going to tell him? You should decide what you want to say now, because it wouldn't be polite to just send it packing.
Well, I have no intention of being rude. Really, this is so silly. Who says he'll even ask for my hand at all? Fine. If he does, I'll say quite calmly and politely, I'm sorry, Mr. Brooke, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to agree with Marnie. I'm just too young to enter into an engagement right now. But thank you. You are the most kind, and I hope that we can still be friends. How's that?
Good and stiff. That should throw him off the track. Just hand him his walking papers, and things can go back to normal around here.
Yes. It's him, Joe. I just know it's...
I'll clear out of the way. Just remember, cool and stiff. How I'd love to see his face. Good afternoon, Mr. Brooke. Meg is in the sitting room. She's been expecting you.
Oh, really? Well, I've only stopped by because I'd forgotten my umbrella. And also thought I might speak to your father, too.
It's in the coat rack. I mean, he's reading the newspaper. I will tell me here.
Is something the matter, Meg? Have I upset you somehow? Please don't be angry with me.
How could I be? You've been so wonderful to me and my family. I only wish there was someone I could repay you.
Shall I tell you how?
Please don't.
Meg. Listen, Meg, please. I love you. And even if you don't love me now, perhaps in time you might learn.
I don't wish to learn. Please go away and leave me alone.
Do you really mean that?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Won't you think about it? I'll wait.
I wish you would. No, please.
Meg,
What's this? What's going on here?
This is just a friend of father's. I'm so surprised to see you here.
That's evident. There's mischief going on, and I insist on knowing what it is.
Really, Mr. Brooke was just here to talk to father.
Brooke? That boy's tutor? I see it's on now. He's proposed, hasn't he?
Please, he'll hear you. Should I just go and tell father you're here?
Have you accepted it? Do you intend to marry this cook? Please! Not until I speak my mind, miss. You can be sure that if you intend to marry this hook, rook, or crook fellow, not a penny of my money goes to you.
I shall marry whom I please, Aunt March, and you should give your money to whomever you please.
Now be a reasonable girl. It is your duty to marry a rich man and help your family. You can be sure that this rook fellow knows you have a rich relation, me, and that's why he intends to marry you.
How dare you say such things? Why, my John wouldn't marry more for money than I would.
Hoity-toity, aren't we, Miss Independent? Well, you'll be sorry what you tried love in a cottage, and it's a failure.
Well, it must be better than what one finds in a big, empty house.
Well, I never. Well, you do as you please. You see where your good advice gets me. But remember, the day you marry him is the day I disinherit you. Well, well, you made me forget why you come here for, Miss Insolence. I wash my hands of you, the lot of you.
for helping prove that you do care for me a little bit.
I didn't realize how much I cared about you until she began to say all of those terrible things.
Say that you'll wait for me?
I will.
Marmy! Marmy! Come downstairs quickly! John Brooke is acting dreadfully, and Meg likes it!
Soon, summer was upon us, and sooner still was John and Meg's wedding day. Our lives were so full with preparations and plans for the wedding that we scarcely had time to think about the void that would be left in our little house on the day of Meg's departure. But that day came at last, and with it those same feelings of joy and loss that attend the members at most weddings.
Joe, the celebration's just begun. Where are you? Don't cry, Joe. It'll be all right.
No, it won't. Our family will never be the same again.
Stop me, Joe.
I know, Teddy. You don't know how much I appreciate that, my dear, dear boy. Now, I've had my silly scene, and we should return to the party before we're missed.
Not just yet, Joe. There's still something that I need to ask you.
No, Teddy, please don't.
I will, and this time you'll listen. The sooner the better for both of us.
Fine then. See you later. I'll listen.
I've loved you, Joe, ever since I've known you. Couldn't help it. I've tried to show you, but you wouldn't let me. Now, I'm going to make you listen and give me an answer.
I wanted to say to you this. I never wanted you to care for me this way. I tried to keep you from it when I could.
I only loved you all the more for it.
No, I know.
I know I'm not half good enough, but if you give me a chance, you can make me into anything you like.
I wouldn't change you, Lori. Not for the world. It's you who need to change me. You should marry someone lovely and accomplished who will adore you and grace your fine house. I couldn't. I loathe the social world, and you like it. You hate my scribbling, and I couldn't get on without it. In the end, we'd quarrel, and...
No.
Yes. We always have. It would be horrid if we were ever foolish enough to...
Marry? No, it wouldn't. It could be heaven if we give it a chance. Grandfather has his heart set on it, and so does your family. Oh, please, Joe, I just can't go on without you. Please say you will. Marry me.
I can't. Lori, I'm sorry. I tried to love you the way you want because I'm so proud and fond of you. And I do love you. I love you so dearly as a friend, but I can never love you as a wife. It would be a lie to say I do when I don't.
Really and truly, Joe.
Really and truly, I don't believe I shall ever marry. I love my liberty too well to give it up for any man.
Yes, you will. I know you. You'll meet some no-account, good-for-nothing idiot and fall in love. It's your way. And I'll just stand by and watch it all. I'll be damned if I do.
Lori, come back. Wait, where are you going?
To the devil. Someday you'll be sorry, Joe March.
Joe, why have you locked yourself away like this? You were missed.
I'm sorry, Marmy. I felt tired. I needed to be alone for a while.
Well, all right then.
Marmy, what sort of plans do you have for us?
Plans, dear?
Yes, you know how some mothers have plans for their daughters, wanting them to marry rich men or something? You asked me the other day what my wishes were. Well, I'll tell you, as soon as I've heard what you want.
Well, I suppose I wish a good many things. No different from anyone else. I want my children to be loved, admired, and respected. I want you to lead good and useful lives. I pray that life sends you as little sorrow as possible. Of course, I'm ambitious for you, like any other mother. I'd be happy to see you marry a rich man, if you loved him. But I'd rather see you happy as a poor man's wife or a spinster then watch you lose your self-respect and happiness in a loveless marriage, even if it made you queen of the world.
Thank you, Marmy. Thank you.
What's this?
I knew I chose right. I'm never getting married. Ever.
Oh, really, dear?
No. Now, I'll tell you what I want. I want to go away.
What,
I
Joe?
thought about it a while, and I need something new. I'm restless, and I need to be out seeing and doing. I want to hop a little ways and try my wings.
Well, where do you intend to hop?
New York.
Joe.
Amy can take care of March now. They're more compatible anyhow. You have Beth here to help, and, well, I thought I would go to work at Mrs. Kirk's. She could use some help with the children, and there's so much to see and hear. I get lots of new ideas for my stories.
Joe, be sure that you're running to something, and not away from something or someone. Is it Lori?
Marmy. He's gotten this romantic rubbish in his head, and I thought it would all blow over, but it's only gotten worse.
But how do you feel about it?
I love him dearly as a friend, so I think if I go away for a while, he'll get over it, and things can go back to the way they were. I just know I don't want to make a mistake.
You're right, Joe. I think it's best for both of you. I'll write to Mrs. Kirk, and if Father agrees it can be managed, you shall go.
Thank you, Marmy.
Now come along, dear, and see Meg and John off on their honeymoon.
All right, Marmy.
Working at Mrs. Kirk's boarding house was one of the most exhausting and exhilarating experiences that I have known. New York flooded my mind with new sights and new friends, the most important of whom Professor Fritz Baer. I had shared so many thoughts and ideals similar to my own that I felt I had found a true kindred spirit. However, in the midst of my newfound fortunes, fate was going to spring a rude surprise, which was the consequence of my abominable tongue.
Good afternoon, Miss March. I'm getting ready.
Show yourself in, and do not bother to announce me. Remarkably slow when I read the misfortune of meeting. Good afternoon.
Good
evening,
afternoon.
March.
Assume you want a spot of tea then.
No. Oh, good gracious, no. I would have finished my business here, or traveled into town and finished up my evening calls before you properly warm a pot.
Very good, ma'am.
Well, now to the point. I'm off to Europe next month, and as we have discussed in the past, I will require a proper traveling companion.
We'll wire for Joe immediately, Auntie.
Joe! Oh, good heavens, no! I said a proper traveling companion? That one's got such a blunt disposition. She'd freeze form relations for the next decade. Oh, good heavens, no.
But Auntie,
No arguments, please. I'm quite decided about this. Amy will accompany me. We are similar in temperament. Amy is docile and respectful and received this opportunity gracefully and without a sense of entitlement.
Auntie, I
Hush, my child. Any excuses will be stuff and nonsense. My mind is made up. Besides, this will be just a chance to try your talents. Rome will be just a place for you to study your art.
we don't know how to thank you, Auntie.
This will be an exceptional opportunity.
Oh, pish posh.
Thank you, Auntie.
Nonsense, my child. I'm off to town to begin our preparations. You'll call on me tomorrow so we can begin discussing your traveling work.
Farewell, Auntie.
Goodbye, March.
Farewell, Aunt March.
Bye.
Goodbye. And thank you again, Aunt March.
Europe would do you a world of good, child. A world of good.
Oh, Marty.
Poor Joe.
Aunt March is quite decided. It would be wrong for us to try and go against her wishes. There will be no undoing things for Joe this time.
But she'll be so dreadfully disappointed. How will I ever explain it to her?
Let's not spoil your good fortune with those concerns. Joe will have her victory one day, and it will be as every bit as wonderful and unexpected as yours.
Father's right. No reproaches and no regrets. You can stop in New York before you sail and visit her personally, if that would help.
Yes, Marley. That would be a comfort.
I I hate to be selfish, but I'm glad Joe's traveling quite so far away from us just yet. It's hard to bear with her off in New York.
Yes, my dear, I know.
Well, enough conversation for now. We have some preparations to begin.
Amy's visit was a comfort for both of us. Her gentle ways and thoughtful words did much to ease the pain of losing my long-anticipated European tour. Aunt March informed me that Lori and Mr. Lawrence had also booked passage to the continent. However, during those long days before they set sail, no calling card for my dear Teddy ever arrived. Lori's intended slight wounded me every bit as deeply as he had hoped, but no experience in that regard had prepared me for the telegram I received several months later. So it was with a strange mix of emotions that I returned home to Concord after receiving that urgent message.
Has Joe arrived yet?
No, child. Your father took the carriage to meet her at the station.
Is there anything we can do to help you right now?
Now, sakes, no. There's little enough for me to do now as it is.
The house has been so empty, with Joe gone and now with Amy off. And
Oh, has the telegram been sent yet?
Straight away. Same day as Miss Josephine. Answer seemed to come as soon as she received it. Already heading back she was, but your parents wouldn't let her. Saying it's too far and too costly the trip. And it would have been unfair to her Aunt March, as that Biddy cared about anyone but herself.
oh, poor dear.
She must be heartsick.
That she is. But Mr. Lawrence said word that he and Lori will meet them up in Nice. They should try to keep her mind off of things.
I'm sure they will. And Lori is such a comfort. Oh, Joe, my dearest Joe.
Meg, Hannah,
Thank you, sir.
The house has been so empty without you, Joe.
I'll go grab Beth and Marmee. And would you mind putting on a kettle for us?
Papa, what can we do? I feel so alone. There must be something.
Nothing. It's just a matter of time now, Joe. The important thing is for us to be strong for her sake. There. You mustn't let her see us cry.
I'll be strong. For Becky.
I know. I know I can never dad you, my brave girl.
Oh, Joe, it's so good to have you home again.
My Beth. Oh, my Beth. How I've missed you.
I've been longing to see you, Joe. And now you're here, just like I dreamed. If only Amy were here, we could all be together again.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yes, John. We must get going to the twins now. But I'll bring them around tomorrow morning for a visit if you'd like.
Yes, I'm so eager to see them.
Goodbye, everyone.
it's okay.
Goodbye.
Take care of you too.
Well now, Beth. I have so much to tell you, I hardly know where to begin.
We'll leave the two of you to catching up then.
Good night, my girls.
Marmee.
Good night, Beth. Good night, Joe.
Good night, Father. Well now, presents first. There you are.
Joe, you're so thoughtful.
Well, wind it up. I thought it could accompany you while you play, since you haven't had me to croak along with you lately.
I don't play anymore.
Well, I almost forgot to tell you what I've been working on. A book.
A whole novel?
Yep.
May I read it?
Oh, well, I don't have it on hand right now. You see, I finished it right before I left.
Oh. When will it be published?
Who knows? I didn't leave it with the publisher. I left it with Professor Bear.
You must be very fond of him.
I am. You see, he's the reason I wrote the book in the first place. He told me to write about the people and places and things I know, instead of a bunch of made-up people and places I've never seen.
And did you?
Yes, Bethany, I did.
What's your book about?
All of us, really. And all the happy times we used to share.
It's all right, Joe. It's all right. Don't cry.
I'm not crying. Not really. It's just, I feel so lonesome. Lonesome for Meg and Amy and all the old times we used to share together.
It's all right, Joe. It's all right. You don't have to be brave for me. Don't tell Father or Marmy, but I know. I haven't wanted to tell anyone but you, my Joe. But I can feel myself slip a little each day, like the tide going out.
No, don't say it, Becky, please.
Isn't that funny? Me, the cricket by the hearth, always content to stay at home, while you and Meg and Amy dream of flying away. I guess it's my turn to fly away. First this time. I'm sorry, Joe. Sorry I can't express myself properly.
Becky.
But it seems I was never intended to live very long. I could never plan what I would do when I grew up. I just couldn't bear the thought of leaving home. But I'm not afraid. Not anymore, Joe. Because I know that love is the only thing we carry with us when we go. And I have so much I know the end will be easy. But Joe, I think I may be homesick for you. Even in heaven.
Nothing can part us, Becky. Not really. Not ever.
But Joe, you must take my place for Mother and Father. They will turn to you. Help them through this.
I will, Becky. You know I will.
I know, Joe. Thank you. I feel like I can rest now.
Henceforth, safe across the river, I shall see forevermore a beloved household spirit waiting for me on the shore. Hope and faith, born of my sorrow, guardian angel shall become, and the sister gone before me, by their hands shall lead me home. With Beth's passing came the fulfillment of my promise to her, and each passing day filled our thoughts with the brief but special memories of our time with her. Often I awoke at night thinking Beth had called me, but when the sight of her empty bed brought me to tears, Mommy's arms were always there to gather me up, soothe me with their touch and their silent eloquence. Yet each day slowly lost some of its bitter pain as her memory was rendered more serene. And with the turning of the seasons, time brought new life and unexpected change into the March household once more.
Joe, Hen and I are going over to Meg's to greet the wedding party. Father and John are driving lower straight from the station. I know Amy's eager to see you. She and Lori missed us all so much at their wedding in Nice. Won't you reconsider and go with us?
I'll be fine, Marmy. Besides, someone has to stay behind and tend to the home fire until the entourage arrives here. And besides, I'll be seeing Aunt March soon enough.
I suppose you're right. I just worry so. We've all had to bear so much lately, but I find my mind wandering to you more and more. Are you all right, Joe? I know how disappointed you were when Aunt March took Amy in your place. And then, well,
Becky.
yes, Becky. Is it the marriage, Joe?
No, I'm not upset about that. Things worked out just the way they should have. I've just been feeling a little lonely lately. Lonely and sad for things that can never return. Perhaps if Lori had proposed to me now, I might have said yes. Just because lately it means more to be loved than it used to.
Oh, Joe, your time will come.
No, Marmy. I don't think I'll ever marry.
You've always known what you wanted, Joe, and you've had the courage to follow through. Your time will come soon enough, and it will be right because you've known all along what you've been waiting for.
We gotta shake our tail feathers, Miss March, unless you want to take a rifle.
Yes, you're right, Hannah. Joe, put the kettle on, and I'll be back with the newlyweds before you know it.
Guess who?
Lori! Oh, my Teddy, it's so good to see you. You're here already? Marty and Hannah just started over, and...
They're Scott and Eggs. I wanted to see you first because, well, there's just one more thing, Joe, and then we can put away forever.
You don't need to say it, Lori. It was meant to be.
I know that now.
You were so headstrong and certain then.
Now that things are settled, it'll be just like the old days, Joe. You'll see.
No. The old days can never come back. We aren't playmates anymore, Lori. We're man and woman now, but we can be brother and sister and love and help each other for the rest of our lives.
Yes, Joe. Always.
Where is she? Where's my old Joe?
Oh, Amy! Or should I say, Miss Lawrence? Just look at you.
Bless us, Jamie said from head to foot with the new Paris bustle to boot.
Oh, Joe, we left you with so many burdens to bear. But never again.
Amy, just look at you. Do you think I should ever see the day when you would turn on Teddy into a hen-pecked husband?
No welcome home for me, Miss Congeniality.
Of course not, March. It's so good to have you home again.
Not at all. Look at me, spending all that money on fancy foreign doctors and medicinal baths. For what? To come home on a day like today? Oh, my rheumatism. You know, Europe isn't at all what they say it is. It's just so foreign. They simply refuse to speak to me in English, just babble on and on. But I know they understood me. Oh, I have no doubt that they understood me.
It's the same all over the world. I'll go for 3 tea service, man. Thank you, Hannah.
Now, tell me all about Europe.
What's there to tell? Just a wretched collection of ancient, broken-down buildings and filthy streets.
But in Europe, one finds that they're so picturesque.
Charmingly put, Mrs. Lawrence.
Yes, my wife has quite a way with words.
Well, we're all familiar with it, Mr. Lawrence.
Now tell us your plans once you two have settled.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised if she drove 6 white horses, ate off gold plates and more diamonds, since Teddy thinks nothing's too good for her.
oh, Joe, really?
Miss Josephine, this just arrived for you by post.
But I wasn't expecting...
Well, open it, Joe, and see what it is.
It's my book.
Oh, Joe.
It's from Professor Bear. A friend of mine here in New York has agreed to publish your wonderful novel. He has great hopes for it. And so it is with deepest regards and best wishes that I send you the first copy. I have never read another piece with such simple truth and beauty. Fondly, Fritz Bear.
First book.
That's my Joe.
Congratulations.
So proud of you.
Oh, so proud.
Read first, Joe.
Please read for us.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Oh,
Come on,
please.
read first, Joe, please.
Dedicated with love to my sister Beth. My mind drifts back to that Christmas Eve so long ago, when nothing in our little home seemed wrong, and nothing in the world outside seemed right.